Assalamu alaikum student. I hope you all are well, safe and healthy at home. So stay at home, give time to your family, but also give time to your studies because it is also very important. So in previous classes, you basically have learned how to write a good business report. So in last week, we have completed how to write a good business report, and you are now able to write a good business report. And I hope you all are working on your assignment of business report. Today, I'm here with a new, very interesting topic. So in today's class, you are going to learn a new and very interesting and very important thing, which is very important for your career as well. So let me show you the slide first. So the topic is, I hope the slides are visible to you now. Yes. So the topic is job application process, cover letter, and resume. So in job application process, uh, two first step are very important before moving towards the interview. First two step are cover letter and resume. So in today's lecture, basically by the end of today's lecture, you will be able to write an effective cover letter. So pay close attention to understand what are the techniques, what are the tips, and what are the strategies, and what are the component and section of an effective cover letter to make your cover letter very effective. So cover letter, basically what is cover letter? Cover letter is also called a job application letter. And the first and the very important step in the job application process. So a cover letter is also called job application letter or application letter, which is basically attached with the resume. Whenever you submit your resume, accompany it with a cover letter or application letter. Basically, you let others know what you are sending, why you are sending it, and how they can benefit from reading it. So your application letter is must be in your own style rather than the copy of someone else's. So send your resume and cover letter together because each has a unique job to perform. Basically, a cover letter is more than just a formality or courtesy. It is an opportunity to impress others so that they may call you for the interview. So, research suggests that employers favor resumes that are accompanied by a cover letter. So, making it a critical component of job search strategy. That's why it's very important. You must know, you must learn, you must be able to write an effective cover letter. So, by the end of today's lecture, you are going to be an effective writer to write an effective cover letter. So a well-written cover letter is an opportunity to show the reader your immediate value, your personality, your unique fit, your skills, your enthusiasm, and how you can be the fit person, the perfect person for the position for which you are going to apply. That's why it's very important to learn about the cover letter and that how can you make your cover letter effective. So how can you make your cover letter? There are some tips which are very important. You must the purpose, basically the purpose of your resume is to get employers interested enough to contact you for an interview. So definitely you also accompany your cover letter with the resume. So you can achieve this purpose by doing the following points, uh, and that you must learn something about the organization you are applying to and focus on your audience, means consideration. You must know to whom you are going to send your cover letter plus your resume. So imagine yourself in the recruiter's situation at the place of the person who is going to hire you, who is going to evaluate your cover letter. So show how your background and talents will solve a particular problem or fill a specific need that the company has. So during your research, it is also very important to find out the name and the title of the person with whom you are going to make contact or to whom you are going to send your cover letter and resume. So for making your cover letter effective, it is also very important include uh, nothing in your cover letter that is already appears in your resume. Here you can refer to your resume, but you cannot repeat the details which you have given in your resume. So keep your letter straightforward, factual based, short, very precise, but complete information and professional. This is also very important because while writing cover letter, you also must keep in your mind that you have to respect your reader's time. At workplace, no one have ample time to read your cover letter. So it should be concise, precise, containing the factual detail, and must have something which can convince your reader to call you for the interview. So cover letter, what question arises that what is cover letter? Usually people prefer just to prepare the resume and send for the purpose of job. So, what is basically cover letter? As I have already told you, that cover letter is also called job application letter, which accompany your resume. So, your resume is the central part of your job search. However, a cover letter gives you a chance to elaborate beyond what's in your resume and focus the employer's attention on the skills and experiences you have that directly relate to the position. So here you will tell your skills and experiences which you have, which relate to the position for which you are going to apply. This is basically, and the purpose behind this is to convince your reader. So it also provides the opportunity for you to showcase your writing and communication skills, as you will here try to convince your reader by utilizing your writing skills and showing your skills which meet the requirement of the position. Then the other person can see also your communication skills, your talent, that how did you write your cover letter, and your credentials which you mention in your cover letter. So, what is the purpose of the cover letter? Basically, the purpose, you always remember that the purpose of your cover letter is to complement your resume, not to repeat it. That is very important point. That your purpose of your cover letter is to complement your resume, as its basic purpose is to convince your reader to call you for the interview. Through your cover letter, you are not going to get a job. You are basically writing your resume and cover letter for the purpose of getting an interview call. So your cover letter will complement your resume, but it will not repeat your resume. Your cover letter and resume basically are called siblings, in that they are related but have different features and characteristics. So now the question arises, so, what are the differences between cover letter and resume? For your clarification, here are the differences of cover letter and resume. When we talk about the resume basically a matter of fact, a document. Here you elaborate your academic record. Here you give your experience. So it's a document which contains the fact. You here give the information regarding the institution. You just mention the name of the institution. You give the year of the completion of your degree, the name of your degree, the particular subject, specific subjects in which you have specialization. But cover letter is basically persuasive. The cover letter is written to convince, to persuade the other person. And so in resume, which is basically a matter of fact and document, sorry, in resume, you mention the skills, experiences, and education, and you give the detail about your skills, your experiences, and your education. But in cover letter, uh, basically you mention how your skills meet the position needs, how your skills meet the requirement of the organization, how your experiences can help to meet and to fulfill the requirement of the organization, and how your academic record fulfill the need and requirement of the position. So here you will elaborate these points, said that how your skills, your experiences, and your education meet the position needs. But in resume, you will simply mention your skills in the section of the skills. In the section of experiences, you will mention your experience and the name of the organization, name of the institution where you have worked, and the time duration. Plus, after that, in the education section, you will give particular specific detail about your education. But in cover letter, you will convince other that I have this qualification, I have this experience, and I can meet the your criteria, I can fulfill the requirement of your vacant position. So the resume includes scope, size, and achievements, but cover letter, how and why you can help. That's why it is called that cover letter is written to convince other, because here you tell other that how and why you can help that organization and you can fulfill their requirements. This is the basically, these are some differences, major differences between resume and cover letter. After that, we move towards the next point. So make email cover even shorter, because sometimes this point I have added because in today's world it's basically a digital world, and usually in the advertisement it is given that emails your resume or email your CV on this email ID, and then you have to email the your resume on the given email address. But what about the cover letter? When you are going to send an email, then definitely you will also write a cover letter. But there is a slight, a bit difference between a cover letter which you are going to write in an email and the cover letter which you are going to send uh, in the form of hard copy. So, when sending a cover letter by an email, make it a bit shorter than the traditional application letters. Remember that email readers want the gist very quickly. Aim for high quality. So carefully check your spelling, mechanics, and grammar, because these give a non-verbal message to other person that how well organized and how responsible and how competent you are. So employers complain, basically usually employers complain about the declining quality of written communication, including the cover letters. So when you are going to send you are going to apply for a particular job through an email, then it is very important to write a cover letter according to the requirement of the email, in which you will make your cover letter a bit shorter as compared to the other cover letter which you write basically for in the form of hard copy. So email readers because want the gist very quickly, and they just want to go through the email and want to get the idea that for which position and for which post you have applied. And while sending your resume, while applying through email address, through email, so you will keep in mind all the rules of email writing which I have elaborated earlier in our lectures, and you learned very well in the lectures of pre-mid classes. that how to write an email, writing a proper subject, giving proper salutation, and then the intro, the opening of your email, the middle, and then the ending, and how to close the email. So you will follow all the rules of email writing. So the next point is this, the types of the cover letter. Basically, there are two types of cover letter: solicited cover letter and unsolicited cover letter. And the solicited cover letter is written in response to an announced job opening. But when you are going to uh, apply for a job which has not been announced, so without any announced job, if you are going to write a cover letter, that would be called unsolicited cover letter. So there, between these two letters, there is slight difference which I would like to elaborate, and which I would like to uh, uh, I would like to tell you, so that you learn that what's the difference between solicited cover letter and unsolicited cover letter. Solicited cover letter is in response to an announced job opening, as I already told you. So you will usually know what qualification the organization is seeking. Basically, it is mentioned in the advertisement what are the requirements for this job. So you will also have more competition, because hundreds of other job seekers will have seen the listing and may be sending application too. Both solicited and unsolicited letters present your qualifications, your experiences, and your credentials, and try to convince your reader to call you for the interview. But the main difference is in the opening paragraph. So the difference is one which is in the opening paragraph. The middle paragraph, the closing, and the starting of your letter would be same. The one difference of opening paragraph is this: in a solicited letter, you need no special attention getter, because you have been invited to apply. But in an unsolicited letter, you need to start by capturing the reader's attention and interest. Here, you will focus to grab the attention of the reader, because you haven't been called to apply, but still you are going to apply. So the introductory paragraph should be attention grabber, but here you are already aware that you are invited to apply. But again, you will keep in mind all the rules of cover letter, because here you are going to face a competition, as many people are going to apply for that position. So there are two types of cover letter: solicited cover letter and unsolicited cover letter. Now, tips for creating a powerful cover letter. How can you create an effective cover letter? You are going basically to learn how to write an effective cover letter. And first, a very important point which you need to keep in your mind is send an original cover letter. Usually it happens that people ask other person, his her friend, to give the cover letter, and then they just add their name and their specific qualification and then date, and then they send as it is cover letter uh, with their resume for particular job. In this condition, what happens? You lose the job. You will never be called for the interview. Cover letter should be original. The other person who is going to evaluate your cover letter, he is competent person. He has many cover letter and resume in his table. Then definitely he is going to call to the person who is going to convince him with the with effective writing and telling him the skills. So keep your cover letter or short, specific, and to the point. First of all, send an original cover letter written by you. You can get help from other people, but it must be your cover letter. So keep it short, specific, and to the point. It is very important that your cover letter should be short. Here you have to keep in mind the rules of conciseness and concreteness from the 7 C's. That your cover letter should be concise, because at workplace no one has ample time to read your cover page, to read your long and lengthy cover letter or to read your wordy cover letter. It should be short and specific and to the point. Means you need to prove. If you're going to mention that I'm hardworking, how will you prove this? You have to give a reference to your resume that I have this CGPA, or I'm gold medalist, or I have this experience, I have this certificate, which is going to prove that you are hardworking. So you can use several basic cover letter templates customized for the particular position and company to which you are applying. For writing your cover letter, you can get help from the other templates, other cover letter, which basically related to your particular position for which you are going to apply. But it should be original your cover letter. For writing cover letter, it is also very important to state the job title. If you're going to apply through you can say if you're going to apply through an email, then you will mention the job title in the subject of the cover letter. But if you're going to apply through your hard copy, you're going to send your cover letter and your resume, and then state the job title in the very first paragraph of your cover letter, and also explain why you want this job. You will explain it through your skills, through your potential, through your enthusiasm for, and your passion for working and polishing your skills, but not mention not to make money. You will not mention that you want the job for making money, because it will sound unprofessional. Other tips for creating a powerful cover letter, effective cover letter describes specific ways you will contribute. In the middle paragraph, it is very important to describe the specific ways. Here you need to mention your expertise, your skills, that how will you contribute in that organization and how will you work for that, because your purpose is to convince others. And how will you convince? You will convince when you will mention your skills, your expertise, your experience. So while mentioning your experience, that how can you contribute, it's important to refer, but don't repeat your resume while writing in the middle paragraph, that how can you help that organization and what can you do for that organization. It is very important to refer or to mention your skills, but don't repeat again and again your skills. Here you can refer your resume, because you are going to attach your resume with your cover letter. So reflect your own self confidence, that is very important at workplace. uh, Other tips for creating powerful cover letter or effective cover letter are these: that your cover letter should contain professional content. So keep the content very professional, and also maintain a tone of warmth. At the end of the last paragraph of the cover letter, it is very important for you to state your follow up plan, that how you are going to follow up, whether we will call them in the next week, or you are going to send an email. So, what is your plan for follow up? That is very important. It reveals your concern for that job. Just writing a cover letter and resume and then sending for a particular job doesn't mean that you have done your purpose and now everything will be done by the other person. After that, follow up plan is also very important. So what are the follow up plan, and what should be the follow up plan? These you will learn in the coming lectures. Last but not least, that is extremely important, is proofread, revise, and edit your cover letter. Whether it's cover letter or resume, it is very important. You must proofread it yourself, and if any colleague, if any friend, and any teacher or any other competent person is available, then you can show your cover letter to other person for the purpose of proofreading. And if there is any mistake, if there is need of any correction, then revise and edit that, because it's very important. If you're going to commit mistake, even a slight punctuation mistake in the first step of job application process, then you will lose the job. You will not be able to secure that job. So here we are going to start. You are going basically to learn the format of the cover letter. You are well aware about the format of the letter. You can write very well the letter. So as the name of the job application letter is the letter, name of letter implies the format, the structure would be the same, as you are very well aware about the format of the letter. Here you will give in the very start, you will give your contact information. You will mention the current date on which you are going to send. Employer's name means the recipient's position, address, and name. Then greeting, and then definitely there will be salutation and introductory paragraph. Then there will be body of the letter, summary of paragraph, closing, your name and signature. One thing I would like to make clear to all of you, and is very important for you people to learn while writing cover letter, that you can in letter writing, it was suggested to go for the three paragraphs: intro paragraph, middle, and then closing paragraph. But if there is need, then you can go for other paragraph. Similarly, in cover letter, you can write a cover letter of four paragraphs as well, but it should be on one page, not more than one. If you have ample experience and expertise, you have a lot of skills, and you can relate the skills with the required position requirements of the position, then after the introductory paragraph, you can write a middle paragraph. Then you can write an other summary paragraph along with the middle paragraph. After that, you can move towards the closing and your name and signature formalities. Here you can see the sample, which is very clear to all of you. In the very start, there is the address of the sender. The address, city, state. If you sometimes it happens that you usually send the cover letter uh, to out of the country. So it's very important in that condition to mention the name of the state or the country. Then the telephone number and your permanent current address, which is very important. Even you have already mentioned your address in the resume, but again it's very important to give your address in the cover letter. And then there will be space here because I'm using the slides basically, or we don't have the we are not physically present in the university. We don't have the whiteboard. That's why there is slide space, but you will follow the standard space of the format of the letter, 3 to 4 lines. And then you will mention the name of the employers, the title, then title of his position, then department, organization, complete name of the organization, address, city, and then state. And after that, 2 line space, and then you will mention the salutation. And the rules of salutations are already clear to all of you. You learned very well that how to write salutation when you learned the letter writing. So, dear Mr. or Mrs., it depends that to whom you are going to talk, to whom you are going to send your cover letter. So you will, if you're not aware about the name, then definitely you can simply write Mr. or Miss. If you are right, know that to whom you are going to send. If the gender is clear, then you can write Miss or Mr. and then the designation if you're not aware about the name of the person. Here you can see the sample, the address, the name of the city, and then the date, and then the name of the company, and then the city name, and then there is salutation, in which the complete name of the person, complete name of the lady has been given here. And after that, the very important point here you are going to start convincing your reader is the introductory paragraph. Openings should be interesting. Openings should be always attention grabber. So limit paragraphs 2 to 5 complete sentences, because the minimum demand of the paragraph is the 2 sentences. But I would suggest you people to go for 5 sentences, but complete sentences. But it depends on the situation, that how much you have the detail to tell to the person. You can write the 2 sentences, which I'll elaborate you through an example in the next slide. So first I would like to tell you the rules. So if this is a repeat contact of letter, then you give specific details of any previous correspondence or conversation, and also state appreciation for the past consideration, because sometimes it can happen that you sent an email for asking the position, and they ask you to send your credentials, your cover letter and resume. Then it means you have already correspondence with that. In that condition, in the very introductory part, introductory paragraph, you will mention about the previous correspondence, and you will also state appreciation for the past consideration. But if you don't have any previous correspondence, then you will direct go for writing the purpose of your cover letter. You will supply here credentials, and you will list a specific job title. This is very important to tell that for which job you are going to apply, and what qualities, which specific credentials you have for that particular job. So indicate your knowledge of the company, means consideration. It is very important when you are going to write a cover letter, you first research a little bit about that organization. Similarly, if you're going for the interview, that is also very important, but it's the first step of the cover letter. Then you must have the knowledge about the company, about the organization or institute where you are going to apply, and keep it at your mind that every time you need to change your cover letter when you are going to apply for a different particular job, because the requirements can be different, the purpose, the objective of every organization can be different. So you need to meet the requirement of the organization. For this purpose, you need to research that organization, their purpose, their objectives, and you need to write your cover letter. Every time you need to make changes in your cover letter according to the requirements of the organization. So here is the sample of the introductory paragraph. I have given here that only the 2 sentences, but you can go for 3, 4 or 5 sentences paragraph. So here you can see I'm responding to your ad in Business Week date for a position as an accounting consultant. My experience and education make me an excellent candidate for this position. Here you have elaborated your credentials in a specific and precise way, and in the very first sentence, which is very complete, in which you have mentioned that where you saw the ad, and then you will mention the date according to the exact pattern of the date which you learned in the previous lectures. So after that, you have mentioned here the position for which you are going to apply. So in the very first sentence, the points are clear for your reader and complete. Again, you have given here in the second sentence, experience your education, means you are going to state that what you are going to elaborate in the next paragraph. So for intro paragraph, it is very important spell out a few of your key qualification. If possible, you can add your key qualifications in the intro paragraph and back up your assertions with some convincing evidence of your ability to perform. After that, you move towards the middle paragraph. In the middle paragraph, your ability to work hard, your ability to learn quickly and handle the responsibility, and your ability to get along with people, you will mention here, because this in second paragraph you elaborate your skills, your abilities, that what are your abilities. But here you must keep it in your mind that you should highlight those abilities which are basically the requirements and which basically meet the need of the position. Here you can see the sample. My career has been built in non-profit management, commercial banking, public finance, accounting management, and human resources. So, in the first sentence of the middle paragraph, he has given the different specific subjects and the experiences on the fields which he has. I mean, he is showing his diversity. Uh, my success has come from identifying, leveraging, and combining my skills and knowledge with my passion to achieve. And in the third sentence, I have consistently met, even exceeded the expectations of my employers. Basically, he's trying to convince and he's trying to tell his skills here in the second and the middle paragraph. So, it is very important to use the appropriate vocabulary. Here, you have a chance to showcase your communication skills. That's why high vocabulary is encouraged in writing cover letter. But if you're writing a business letter or writing a sales letter, then you are not encouraged to write the high vocabulary and use the terminologies. But here you can use the high vocabulary because it's the here is your purpose is to convince other and show other your abilities and your talent. In the next paragraph, this is also a middle paragraph. Here in this paragraph, you can relate your skills with the needs of the organization, with the need of the job. So, as noted on my resume, again, the reference of the resume is given here. I am involved in many professional and community organizations. The name has not been mentioned that on which date on and on which organization, which committee he was involved, but he has given the reference of the resume. My leadership positions in these organizations, combined with my strong business background, show that I possess the skills needed to be a candidate for the accounting consultant position. Here, he tried to meet his skills with the requirement of the job. He again tried to he again tries to convince the reader that how he is the perfect and the fit person for that particular job. So again, I'm outgoing, hardworking, and easy to get along with. I'm willing to learn any new skills needed for this position. Here he has given a basically a given a clue that if there are other requirements of this job, so I am willing to learn the new skills. So this is the style of writing middle paragraphs of your cover letter. So some variations which are very important to learn you can use bullet points for emphasis within a paragraph because if you want to show if you want to give some emphasis in one paragraph, the middle paragraph, you can use the bullet points. You can list qualifications mentioned in the job, listing in the bold points, then describe your corresponding skills or experiences by relating those skills with the requirements of the job. So you can try a two-column approach. Means in one sentence you can mention employer's need and then you can mention your skill, that here my skill need to your requirement and I have this skill which is mentioned in this resume. This skill may meet to your this requirement. Basically your purpose is to convince your reader, so you can adopt these strategies to convince your reader. The next, the last point of which is closing, that how to write the closing of your cover letter. To ask the reader for a specific action, that is very important, and to make a reply easy. In almost all cases, the action you request is an interview. Don't demand it, however, try to sound natural. Basically, in the closing paragraph, you will ask for an interview. You will indicate your next action, your follow-up plan, that how would you follow up. You will use appropriate closing lines such as sincerely, you're truly. Uh, Again, at the end, you will follow this format of the letter, that how to conclude, how to close the letter. You will give the closing, uh, complimentary closing, and then there will be space for your signature, and then you will type your name, And after getting the print of your uh, cover letter, uh, you will sign here. After that, there will be definitely a printed title name here, and then enclosure is very important in the closing in the cover letter, because you are going to enclose, you are going to attach your resume with the cover letter. That's why at the end you will mention enclosure. But in case if you are going to send your cover letter at the same time to another person, means this is also the requirement to send the cover letter to the head and then to the HR person, then you can CC here that it has been sent to these persons. But if you are going to send only to one person, there is no need to CC. You will just mention enclosure and that resume. The closing sample is here. And you can see here, I would like to discuss this position with you in person. Please feel free to contact me with any questions you have. You may reach me at this number or email ID given here. I will follow up with you next week to check on the status of my application. Thank you very much for your consideration. Very brief, complete, concise, and concrete closing of your cover letter. Here you have given your follow-up plan, you have given your contact number and email address, and you have ended with a complimentary closing, and then sincerely your name, and then enclosure a resume. Here your letter, your cover letter is complete. Basically, cover letter, you write the your cover letter is a potential employer's first impression of you and can be the most vital part of the application packet. A well-written cover letter attempts the employer to read your resume. A poorly structured cover letter may doom your resume to the no need to read pile. So the same can be said for a scholarship application that includes an introductory letter. For that purpose, you need to write a cover letter. So it is important to highlight your skills, your knowledge and experience in the cover letter and try to convince other person. These will indicate what you can contribute to the company and to the organization. So effective cover letters must convey a sense of purpose and project enthusiasm. So this is basically the importance of cover letter. Here you have learned the cover letter, but still I want that you must learn the do's and don'ts of cover letter. A little bit few I'll tell you that these are basically the action verbs. I have given the list here because after this you are going to write your cover letter. So these action verbs will be helpful for you. In the 7Cs, you already aware very well that action verbs should be used specifically in the business writing. So cover letter and resume also the part of the business writing. Self-description words, here again the you can see the action verbs. Again the self-descriptive words, which are basically you can say adjective, which you can use to show your skills, to show your enthusiasm, to reflect your skills. So these are the adjectives which can you use while writing your cover letter. Other tip which I would like to give you is that always use the active verbs. Basically, the active verbs have either active verbs are both active and passive. The active voice is more powerful than the passive voice. For example, you can see Hassan Akbar wrote the report. This is active. The report was written by Hassan Akbar, a passive point. So it is very important to go for the active verb, then the passive verb for writing your cover letter, and then it is also very important to go for writing the accurate words and the accurate point. And then it is very important to review your cover letter for avoiding any type of grammatical mistakes. Here is a list of words which I have given here, because these are the words which are called homophones, which have same sound but different spellings and different meanings. When you use them in your cover letter and you are going to mistake, you are going to use lay instead of lay, then it can leave a bad impression. So I have given these words with their explanation so that you avoid any type of mistake in your cover letter. Affect and effect both have different meanings and different uses, which I have elaborated with the examples here. Similarly, all together and all together. All together means in a group. All together is an adverb meaning entirely. So bring, take. One brings something to a place where one is or will be. One takes it when one is leaving for somewhere else. Similarly, accept and accept. Accept is a verb meaning to agree to something. Accept means when used as a verb means exclude. As a preposition, accept means with the exclusion of. So these words have different meanings, but usually people commit mistake because they forget the slight difference between these words, and they show their irresponsibility to their readers. So use less for many and many and money and things that are not countable, and often singular nouns, but use fewer for things that are countable, often plural nouns, like less time, fewer clocks, fewer books, but less water, not fewer water. So here I have given examples. You can review your cover letter to check any mistakes, spelling mistakes, any grammatical mistakes. Here I have given another extra information. Avoid X-rated expressions like there is no X in espresso, there is no X in etc. There is no X in especially. Usually people add X with these words. So because there is no S, so these are basically the accurate spelling of writing these words. Spell checkout is very important. Again, complement, complement, counsel, counsel. Further, these principle. Many times people commit such type of mistake. Principle, PAL, and principles, basically the rules and regulation. So these are very important to recheck when you are going to send your cover letter. After writing the proofread, the next day proofread is very important. No errors are allowed, and read the letter aloud to understand whether there is clarity in your letter or not. So seek advice from qualified sources such as the career counselors, professors, business associates, relatives, any friends, or even any teacher. You can request them to proofread your cover letter before sending your cover letter. So here all the rules of cover letter are clear to all of you, and in today's lecture you have learned that how to write an effective cover letter, all major points of cover letter, all the points which you need to keep in your mind while writing your cover letter, and major components of the cover letter you have learned in today's class. So in next class, you are going to learn how to write an effective resume. That is also a very important point, very important part of job application process. So the cover letter is clear to all of you. If you have any question, if you have any query, then you can contact me. You can post in the WhatsApp group, and you can ask me. I'll elaborate. All the points are clear to all of you. I'll send these slides to all of you, and your next task is to write your cover letter, is to prepare your cover letter keeping in mind all the points which you learned in today's class. So after learning resume writing, you will definitely prepare your resume. So start working on your cover letter, because that is also the part of your final project, which is interview, job interview. When you will come for the interview purpose, you will definitely bring your cover letter and your resume. I'll share an advertisement with your people, and keeping in mind that advertisement and the rules which you have learned in today's lecture, you will prepare your cover letter. So stay safe and home. Take care of yourself and your family. Give time to your family and also give time to your studies as well. Take care and Allah Hafiz.